Why is your phone lighting up with a contact named Danger at 2 in the morning? I catch myself whispering to the empty apartment, heart thrumming so loudly I'm certain Mark can hear. It through the walls. His key clicks in the door, and I press my palm to the wooden frame, steadying the tremor in my hand. The moment he steps inside, I slam my eyes onto the coffee table, where his sleek smartphone lies face up, notifications stacking like a neon tower. Danger, 12 missed calls, 8 voicemails. I'm Jessica, wife of 3 years, marketing consultant by day, Pinterest-obsessed home decorator by night, and until a few hours ago, I believe my marriage was as solid as the granite countertops we installed together last fall. But now, I'm pacing our open-plan living room, mind racing, clutching a half-empty wine glass as if it's a lifeline. How did I end up here? Questioning the man who swore he loved me more than anything. It started at dinner. I was simmering chicken in rosemary sauce when my phone buzzed. A group text from my mom reminding me about her birthday next week. I glanced over at Mark, focused on searing steaks, his phone perched precariously on the counter. It buzzed too, and, without thinking, I reached for it. A name flashed, Danger. No last name, no face icon, just that ominous label. Who's Danger? I asked lightly. He stiffened, spatula hovering. What? He replied, voice too casual. He turned off the burner. No one. My sister's dog walker, but she changed her name on purpose. He winked. Some prank hashtag thing. I laughed it off, but unease prickled my skin. A dog walker called Danger? That didn't quite compute. I shrugged and returned to my phone, but the doubt took root, weaving into every moment. And then it got worse. The buzzing didn't stop. 30 seconds later, Danger called. Again twice. Then again. And again. My skin crawled every time his phone flared to life. After dinner, I pretended to finish dishes while he retreated to our bedroom. I wanted to respect his space, trust him, but curiosity pulled me forward. I peeked in. He was on his laptop, brow furrowed, typing something. The phone lay beside him, screen still blinking. My heart pounded, rationality tangled with dread. I slipped the phone from the bed and scrolled. Voicemails, texts, photos. A voicemail from Danger, breathy, urgent. A clip of giggling. A whisper, I can't stop thinking about you. Then a moan that didn't sound platonic. My breath caught. I flipped to messages. Please call me back, Mark. It's about us. You promised you'd be there. Meet me at the river. Tonight. My breath caught again. I backed away. His phone slipped from my hand and clattered to the hardwood floor. My pulse pounded. I returned it and fled to our bedroom, closing the door with deliberate force. My wine glass shattered on the floor, but I barely noticed. He emerged seconds later, concern etched on his face. Jess! What happened? He knelt to pick up glass shards. I pointed at his phone. Why is Danger calling you at midnight? I demanded. His face paled. He reached for the phone. I stepped back. It's a client, he stammered. A code name for a sensitive project. My mind replayed his careful avoidance of details when I asked about work last month, the late nights he blamed on urgent deadlines. I inhaled, fighting tears. Let me see. He shook his head. No, it's confidential. Mark, I whispered, voice breaking. If you love me, you'll be honest. Who is Danger? He stared at my tear-streaked face, torn between guilt and duty. Finally, he exhaled. Okay, but promise me you won't freak out. I nodded, though my insides churned. He unlocked his phone and opened a chat thread. Danger Red Heart, I miss you. Then a series of flirty emojis and photos, sultry selfies of a woman I'd never met. My stomach dropped. Who is she? I whispered. He swallowed. Her name's Danielle. We met at a conference 3 months ago. It got complicated. I pressed for details. He admitted they'd shared drinks after hours, an innocent friendship. Spiraled into flirtation, then texts at all hours. He had promised to stop, but she kept calling. Danger was her nickname, he explained, daring him to break off contact. He deleted the thread, face remorseful. It's over, he insisted. I ended it, but I had the evidence. Voicemails, messages, the screenshot he couldn't erase from my mind. I felt sick, betrayed not by a full-blown affair, but by the emotional electric current that had pulsed between them, the midnight rendezvous he hadn't told me about. When were you going to tell me? I asked, voice raw. He looked away. I tried, but every time I thought about it, I froze. I was ashamed. I shook my head. You call me crazy for snooping, but you won't tell me the truth. My tears fell. We vowed to have no secrets. He reached for me, but I backed away. Promise me now, no. More secrets. No more midnight messages. Or I can't stay. He nodded, eyes bloodshot. I promise. I'll cut her off. He handed me the phone. Here. Unblock her number, then block it yourself. No more danger. I stared at him, uncertain. Had I truly caught him in the act, or had I fueled a storm of doubt? He slid the phone back into his pocket. I love you, he said, voice trembling. Please don't let this break us. I hugged myself, bracing against his arms. I need time, I whispered. I need to breathe. I retreated to the bedroom and locked the door. Outside, he sat on the edge of the bed, head in, his hands. I sank to the floor, wine-stained and bewildered. How do you rebuild trust once you've seen the flame flicker in a stranger's voice notes? How do you face the woman whose laughter haunted his late-night conversations? I poured another glass, setting the pieces of my heart on the counter. In the days that followed, I collected evidence, call logs, timestamps, mutual social media, likes, small breadcrumbs of betrayal. I texted Danielle's Instagram handle to a detective friend, just to see if I could learn more. She replied with a curt wow, and asked if I was okay. I realized then I was teetering on the edge of obsession. I needed clarity, not chaos. I confronted Mark again over coffee. I met with a therapist, I said. I need help sorting this out. He nodded, relief and guilt mingling. I booked an appointment for us, couples therapy. Tomorrow. That night, I lay awake, listening to the hum of traffic outside. I whispered into the darkness. Was I right to snoop? Or did I push him away? My phone glowed with a final voicemail from Danger. I can't let you go. I deleted it, my heart clenched. Tomorrow we begin to untangle the web. Who Danger really was, why my husband had let her ring his phone like an alarm bell, and whether our vows meant more than the silent promise of fidelity. I closed my eyes, determined to find the truth, and perhaps a way to forgive. Tomorrow, the real conversation will begin. I didn't hear the morning alarm. I woke to the heavy weight of silence, the bed beside me empty. I blinked, disoriented, until the memory of last night's confrontation settled in my chest like a stone. Clutching the sheets, I slid to the floor and padded to the kitchen. Mark's coffee mug sat, half full on the counter, brown stains on the wood. He must have gone already. Couples therapy. Today at 11. My stomach churned. I poured water into the French press, hands trembling, and waited, listening for the rattle of his car. By 10:45, I was dressed in jeans and a simple sweater, heart pounding with a strange mix of dread and relief. Therapy either meant the end of us or a new beginning. I forced myself to eat half a banana, then grabbed my notebook. On the drive over, I rehearsed everything I wanted to say. I need honesty. I need to know you've cut all contact. I need to understand why. My palms were slick on the steering wheel. We arrived 10 minutes early. Mark gripped my hand as we walked in. His warmth steadied me. Dr. Patel greeted us with a measured smile. "Good to see you both," she said, ushering us into a bright, plant-filled room. "Let's begin where we left off." I took a breath. Last night I saw his phone. I saw her voicemails, her texts. I feel like an outsider in my own marriage. My voice cracked. I need to feel safe again. Mark reached for me. I cut off Danger last night. I deleted her number and archived our emails. He exhaled. I've blocked her online. I will share every message, every call log, no secrets. Dr. Patel nodded. Transparency is a start, but trust requires rebuilding. Let's explore the underlying dynamics. Jessica, what emotions came up when you saw those voicemails? I closed my eyes. Betrayal, anger, humiliation, but also fear that I wasn't enough. My throat tightened. If he could be tempted by someone else, what does that say about me? Tears sprang unbidden. Mark's arm wrapped around me. Jess, it says nothing about you. My insecurities, my midlife panic, those were my demons, not your shortcomings. Dr. Patel asked him, "What needs did you feel weren't being met?" He swallowed. I felt unheard. I work long hours, and when I come home, I zone out with TV or email. She listened. She made me feel interesting again. He glanced at me, shame in his eyes. That was wrong. I bit my lip. I wish you'd told me you felt neglected. I would have listened, changed, tried harder. He nodded vigorously. I know. I see that now. I'm sorry I didn't talk to you. Our session shifted to exercises. We practiced I statements, taking turns saying I feel, without blame. When I said, I feel scared when I don't know where your phone is, and he replied, I hear you and will keep it in sight, something in me recalibrated. It wasn't a magic fix, but a start. Afterward, as we walked to the car, Mark asked softly, Can we have breakfast? Talk more. I hesitated, then nodded. I'd like that. At the cafe, over avocado toast, I asked the questions that had tangled in my mind all week. Who is Danielle? What happened after the conference? He sighed. We met at that digital summit in July. I was bored, felt stuck. She was dynamic, smart, funny. I let conversations turn personal. Over drinks, we laughed about our marriages, our fears. I should have kept it professional. But she flirted, and I didn't stop her. His eyes filled. It wasn't sex, but the emotional affair crossed a line. I stirred my coffee, thinking, emotional affairs can hurt just as badly. You invited her in. He reached across the table. I did, and I regret it. I studied his face. I need specifics. How often did you communicate? He nodded. Every day for 2 months. Texts, calls, lunch once. She called me my danger. Said I was her escape. It became a game. My pulse raced. Why danger? I asked. He swallowed. She said she was a risk, a thrill, something I'd never admit I craved. But that Craving was misplaced. I exhaled. We both need to find healthy thrills together. Adventure, travel, conversation without secrets. He smiled wryly. I campaigned for that idea. Remember when we talked about skydiving? I laughed through tears. You backed out at the last minute. He reached for my hand. Let's do it. No backing out this time. I squeezed his fingers. Deal. Over the next month, we threw ourselves into rebuilding. I joined him on morning runs. He helped with my design deadlines. We set phone-free evenings, putting our devices in a basket. By the door, we rediscovered the joy of cooking together, experimenting with recipes from Sicily to Thailand. Every evening, we sat on the balcony, talking about our day, no distractions. Danielle's presence faded. His phone rang less. When it did, he answered immediately. I saw messages from colleagues, children's school, relatives, nothing suspicious. The calendar app showed no meet danger. The relief felt almost surreal. Yet the wounds needed tending. I started therapy individually, exploring why I'd felt unseen. My therapist, Lena, asked me to journal. When did I first lose trust? What do I deeply need in a partner? Writing those answers. I need openness, laughter, reassurance, helped me articulate desires I'd muffled in marriage's routine. Then came the day I ran into Danielle on LinkedIn. An innocuous photo, a professional headshot, business blazer, poised smile. I clicked through. No posts about Mark, no mention of danger, just a digital presence. I felt a twist of curiosity and pity. Who was she now without the thrill of our affair? I shut the tab, focusing instead on the genuine life we were rebuilding. 2 months in, Dr. Patel declared, you've made significant strides. Trust is returning, though it may always need nurturing. The key is ongoing communication and choice, choosing each other daily. We left the office holding hands, the late afternoon sun soft on our faces. As we drove home, Mark reached over and turned off the radio. Just so we can talk, he said. I smiled. I liked that idea. That evening, we tried something new. We built a relationship bucket list. On sticky notes, we wrote adventures, big and small, skydiving, cooking a 5-course meal, volunteering together, learning salsa dancing. We stuck them on the fridge like colorful flags of hope. Each note declared our intent to grow, to reconnect, to keep the spark alive. 2 weeks later, we took our first bucket list trip, a hot air balloon ride at sunrise. I gripped Mark's hand as we drifted over valleys, the world unfolding beneath us in golden light. My pulse raced not from fear but exhilaration, the air crisp and real. When the pilot asked if we wanted to spin the basket, I laughed and said yes. Together we spun, arms outstretched, hearts entwined. At landing, we hugged, breathless and joyful. On the drive home, I turned to Mark. I feel safe and alive. He pulled me close. Me too. Thank you for taking this journey with me. I rested my head on his shoulder, eyes on the horizon. The road stretched ahead, a mix of curves and straightaways, unknowns and promises. I knew trust would always require care, like tending a garden after a storm. But as I felt Mark's steady heartbeat beside me, I believed our marriage could not only survive danger, but emerge stronger for having faced it. That night, I deleted the final voicemail from Danger, not out of fear, but as a symbol of release. In its place, I posed our own message in my journal. We choose honesty. We choose each other. We choose adventure over apathy. And with that choice, I closed the book and slipped into sleep, dreaming of tomorrow's sunrise.